Namaste everyone and a very warm welcome to all of you in my today's session. Today's session is all about reading the body language of our eyes. The way and direction in which another person's eyes are moving tells us a lot about what they are thinking, what is going on in their head. So that is why in today's session I'm going to talk in details about the various types of eye movements, and I will also tell you the meaning behind these eye movements. So let us begin. Firstly, we will talk about the movement of our eyeball in the top right direction. So if you see someone who is sitting and is thinking like this, right? So right now my eyes are pointing in the top right direction, in my right. This is my right hand, this is my right side. So I'm looking top right, okay? So when people are looking at their top right direction, they are trying to construct a visual memory. Supposing if someone asks me that imagine yourself trekking on Mount of Everest. Now I have not been to Mount Everest till now in my life. So if someone asks me to imagine myself trekking on Mount Everest, then I will have a tendency to think like this. I will imagine myself visually. I'm constructing the visual image of myself trekking on Mount of Everest, and I'm looking in the top right direction, right? So this is the normal tendency which people have whenever they are trying to imagine a story, when they are trying to imagine something which has not yet happened, which they have not yet experienced. So that is the meaning behind the movement of the eyes in the top right direction. Moving on, now I will tell you that what are people thinking when they are looking to the top left hand side. Okay, so this is my left side. So if I'm thinking something and my eyes are pointing in the top left direction, then this means that I'm trying to remember a visual memory. I'm trying to remember something which has happened with me or which I've seen in the past. I'm accessing a visual memory. For example, if someone asks me that try to imagine, not imagine, try to remember what does your grandmother's nose look like. And I've seen my grandmother many times, so if I'm trying hard and concentrating and trying to remember what her nose looks like, then I will have a tendency to look to the top left hand side, my top left hand side. So like this, I will look in this direction, top left, and I'll try to remember what does my grandmother's nose look like, right? So these are the meanings, that whenever I'm trying to have a visual imagery, I'm trying to construct something, imagine a vision. When I'm imagining a vision, I will look to the top right hand side. And if I'm remembering something, I'm remembering a vision, then to the top left hand side, right? Now, moving on, I will talk about what a person is thinking, what is going on in their head if they are looking simply to their right. Okay, so it's not like top right, it is not bottom right, but it is just right. I'm just looking exactly to this plane, this right hand side, and I'm trying to think something. Okay, so what does this mean? So when a person thinks to the this right hand side on the same side, right, this means that the person is trying to construct a sound. If I'm thinking like this, then I'm trying to access a sound. I'm trying to imagine a sound. I'm trying to think about a sound. So, for example, if someone asks me that, can you imagine the sound made by a unicorn? Now, unicorn is not a real animal. We have just seen and heard about unicorns in movies and books. So, it is a fictional animal, right? So, if I were to imagine that, what I am imagining that what could a unicorn sound like? What sound would a unicorn make? If I'm imagining that from my imagination, I'm trying to think about the sound, then I will look to the right hand side like this, side right. Okay. Now someone asks me that, can you remember the sound made by a horse? Then I will look to this side. I look to the left side. Okay. Not left up, not left bottom, but left side. Okay. So I look like this and try to imagine what does the sound of a horse sounds like. If I have experienced it, if I have heard the sound of a horse in my life and trying to remember that sound, I will look to the left hand side, right? And if I'm imagining a sound, to the right hand side. Fine. Now moving on, what can we say about a person who is looking to the down and down right? Okay, so in this direction, down right. So if someone is looking to the down right hand side like this, then that means that, supposing right now if I'm looking like this, okay, down right, this means that I'm trying to access my emotions, my feelings, my emotions at a psychological level, and my even at a physical level. If there is any pain, I'm thinking about that. Okay, so whenever we are trying to think about anything which is happening at a psychological, whenever we're trying to access our feelings, our emotions, or if we're thinking about our body and we're trying to access a pain in our body, then people think like this if they're thinking about these things. For example, in many of the therapies which I teach, like for example inner child healing or mindfulness, we always tell the participant to think about their feelings. Like if someone says that I'm feeling sad, then we ask them to please introspect and think that where are they feeling the sadness? Are they feeling the sadness in their throat? Does their throat ache, or are they feeling the sadness in their stomach? Where in their body can they feel this sadness? Okay, so whenever someone is trying to think about their own emotions, their feelings, or about their body, they have a tendency to look to the down and the right hand side, right? So they think and imagine like this. Now what can we say about a person who's looking to the down left? So as you can see over here, I've written down left, and this means that the person is probably talking to himself. Okay, so whenever, you all might have experienced this, that whenever we have a fight with someone, argument with someone, and then after that fight and argument, after we have returned home or returned to our desk, after that we talk to ourselves that, I could have said this, why did I not raise this point? I could have talked about this, I could have raised this issue, I would have told him this. So this kind of a self-talk where we are constantly having a dialogue with ourselves, and all of us does that, right? Sometime or the other we're talking to ourselves, we're thinking, and a voice is talking to ourselves. Then every time you will see that you will have that tendency, whenever you're doing this, you'll be looking somewhere, like it will not be so prominent, but somewhere you will be thinking like this. You'll be looking to the down left hand side, right? So that was about I told you about top right, top left, normal right, normal left, down right, down left, right? Now I'll tell you that what happens, what can we see about a person who's just looking down, exactly down, okay? Or it does not always mean that the person also like move their head, but their eyeballs can also, their gaze can also go straight down, fine? What does this mean? What does this mean? So when a person is looking down, this means that they are introspecting. Like supposing a salesperson comes to you and they are trying to sell. Supposing a salesperson is coming to me and he is trying to sell me a night cream. Okay, he's trying to sell me a product. So then when I have to decide whether or not I should buy this product or not, okay, so I will look down, my gaze will go down, and I'll try to introspect that on my life, on my body, on myself, that where can I use this, fine? So anytime if I have to make a decision of buying, or any other time if I'm introspecting, I'm looking within myself, supposing I'm introspecting that where did I go wrong, what have I done wrong, where did I make a mistake, any sort of an introspection, or where I am looking into myself, looking within myself, right? Then I'll have a tendency of looking down. Okay, so down is introspection, and up, if I'm looking up, straight up, then usually I am looking for intuition, I'm looking for inspiration, I'm looking for hope. So I'm looking for things which are outside of me. If I'm looking down, I'm looking for things within me which I have gone through, I have experienced, or I'm thinking about, I'm introspecting or within myself. But when we look up, it is like an outside experience. It is when I'm praying or I'm looking for inspiration, intuition, hope, these type of things, right? So that was all about, I've discussed the complete facet of all the various types of eye movements. Now, I would again want to make one disclaimer to you, that this is not like, the thumb rule. I'll explain how. Like, for example, if you see someone who is looking to the right hand side and telling you something, that, and you quickly jump to the conclusion that, oh my god, this person is lying. I saw his eyes, his eyeballs move to the right. So he's definitely constructing some stories, constructing some sound. So I'm not going to trust this person. This is absolutely wrong. You cannot do this. I'll tell you how. I'll tell you why. Because see, supposing if someone asks me that, tell me the what do you think is the sound of a unicorn, okay, then ideally I should have looked on the right hand side, right? Because unicorn, I've never, no one has seen a unicorn. So it should have been out of my imagination. I should have tried to construct a sound of a unicorn. So according to these rules, I should have looked to the right hand side, right? But supposing you find me that I'm looking to the left hand side, and you're like, oh my god, either I'm lying or I'm not doing what you have asked me to do. I'm not thinking of a sound. I'm not thinking of what the sound of unicorn is. So it's not like that. Maybe I'm looking left instead of looking right, because I'm trying to think of the sound of a horse, and I'm trying to say, because in my head I feel that the sound of a horse and unicorn might be the same, because unicorn does look like a horse. It is like a white horse with a horn and all. So it is not like I'm lying, or I'm not obeying to you. If you have asked me to think of a sound of a unicorn, and if my eyes, instead of going to the right, they are going to the left, then you cannot just judge me or complain that you are not listening to me, you are not doing what I'm asking you to do. No, I am doing what you are asking me to do, but I'm doing it in a different way, because my imagination works that way. I'm not trying to imagine something, but I'm just trying to remember the sound of a horse, and I think that the unicorn sound will also be like this, right? So you're getting the drift. So just on the basis of these things, you cannot call someone out as a liar. You cannot judge someone as a liar. Anyways, according to the rules of the body language, remember the 4 C's. The first C I told you about the cluster of cues. You cannot jump to conclusion just by one cue. Yes, if these things are not happening, it could be one of your cues. It could be one cue, but you still have to find 3 more cues to jump to a conclusion that this person is lying, okay? So always remember this. But at the same time, I'm not saying that whatever I've taught you is completely irrelevant. No, it is very, very relevant, because these eye patterns, this rule has been formed. This is an NLP rule. This has been formed by NLP practitioners, by body language experts, after analyzing and studying so many people. So much research had been done, and after that, majority of the people were behaving in this way. So that is why we have these rules. So of course, there is a lot of importance and weightage to these rules. But at the same time, what I'm trying to tell you here is that just if someone is not following this rule, you cannot jump to the conclusion that the person is lying. Please try to look for more cues. But otherwise, these rules are correct in most of the cases. So you really can apply these rules in your analysis, right? So for example, if you see someone who's looking in the upward direction, you can definitely for sure know that they are thinking of something. They are probably hopeful, they are visualizing something good, they are looking for something external, for some inspiration. If someone is looking down, probably they are thinking too much about the feelings, about analyzing on themselves, right? So these things or in fact all the things whatever I told you today does have a lot of weightage, because these things have been taught to us, they have been written after a lot of research, right? So that was it for today's session. It was all about reading eye movements, and this is very very interesting, and you can try to notice the eye movements of another people and try to see if these rules are working or not, right? That was it for today's session. Thank you everyone.